Hey guys, we've got some serious drama surrounding Martell Holt. And get this, allegedly he's been out here skipping child support and barely showing up for his children.
If Martell wasn't the kind of man that he is, I would have no problem with him being the first person I reach out to when I need someone to watch the kids, whether that's because I have a speaking engagement or a gig or I gotta go in the studio, whatever the case may be.
When Martell first came onto our screens, he was the perfect family man. Like the businessman, the father, the husband. He had that whole family package thing down. But behind closed doors? While he was acting like the picture-perfect husband, he was sneaking around with a whole side chick. And then, plot twist, his mistress got pregnant. Yeah, that's when the whole perfect image started to crumble. Melody wasn't having it and packed up, taking the kids and leaving Martell to fend for himself. And y'all, he hasn't been able to recover since then. His businesses have taken a nosedive, and let's not even get started on how much of a hot mess he's become on social media. I mean, it's like he can't help but drag himself through the mud every time he opens his mouth. But the real issue here? His kids. While Martell's out here trying to keep up his image, his responsibilities as a father are slipping through the cracks. So here's where it gets really messy. The internet has been on fire with allegations that Martell is dodging child support and barely showing up for his kids. Now, I know some people love to defend him, but let's take a look at what's been going down. Melody has been extremely vocal about handling everything solo when it comes to their kids' school fees, food, clothing, the whole shebang. You know, the basics that every parent should be contributing to. If Martell were paying his fair share, Melody wouldn't need to constantly bring it up.
Martell only wants to know that so he can try to use that against me. And that's our problem. Again, it goes back to the controlling mechanism.
But it seems like Martell is anything but a supportive dad, especially when it comes to financial things. Instead, what does he do? He hops on social media, trying to act like he's some kind of superhero dad, posting photos with his kids, throwing out the "I'm always there for them" line. But let's be real, showing up for a quick pic here and there doesn't replace paying bills. Sorry, but it doesn't. Now, let's take a look at the excuses Martell loves to throw out when he gets called out. First, he says that he's spending time with his kids, which he thinks is an excuse for not paying child support. He also claims that he provides for his children in other ways. And lastly, Martell says that Melody is trying to make him look bad. I don't know about y'all, but he is already looking bad without Melody even trying. And speaking of being a bad father, let's talk about his other kid, the one he had with Ariane Curry. This situation is just as messy, if not more. Ariane's been vocal for years about how Martell's been an absent father. And let's just say she's not wrong. He's been flip-flopping between his two relationships, never fully owning up to his mistakes, and now people are questioning if he's even supporting his son with Ariane. If he can't even pay his child support for his kids with Melody, do we really think he's doing right by his son with Ariane? I'm just saying, the math isn't mathing. So now, Martell's out here trying to keep up appearances while both women in his life are calling him out for being MIA. What does that say about him as a father? If we're being honest, it says that Martell is more focused on his image than actually stepping up for his kids, and that's a problem. Now, fans are saying that Martell can't keep avoiding his responsibilities forever. He can keep making excuses and playing the victim card, but if he doesn't start taking care of his kids, the courts will step in, and that might not end well for him. And yes, people are starting to call him out. Just like this fan who wrote, "Anybody that still believes his lie is sick too," while another added, "He's no surprise. Because Melody left him and has moved forward, he feels like he doesn't owe her anything, including taking care of the children. What little he's done doing, it's for public attention. Like at this point, Martell's got one job, take care of his kids. It really is that simple. But instead of stepping up, he's out here embarrassing himself and making excuses after excuses. So the question is, will Martell ever step up? What do you think?
Brittany Renner just dropped a bomb about a secret fling with Kevin Gates, and the internet is eating it up. She spilled details that got people side-eyeing both of them. So let's talk about this wild situation with Kevin Gates and Brittany Renner, because it's not just rumors anymore. The streets are talking, timelines are buzzing, and fans are convinced these two might actually be engaged. After years of speculation and public flirtation, the affair between Brittany and Kevin might have evolved into something way more serious. Now, if you've been tapped into this story since the beginning, you already know their history runs deep. Word on the curb is that Kevin and Brittany had a little something going on around 2018 to 2019. At the time, it was all quiet, just whispers and soft rumors. But then Kevin started referencing Brittany in his music, and that's when people really started raising eyebrows. You know, Gates don't name drop unless he's really feeling someone, so fans put two and two together and clocked it early on. Things picked back up in 2022 when Britney popped up in Kevin's Bad For Me music video. Not only did she play the lead, but their chemistry was undeniable. Like, this wasn't just acting. It felt too natural. Then Kevin dropped Super General, and yep, he name-dropped her again. And let's not even talk about their social media exchanges. Hella explicit, super flirty, and everything but subtle.
Let me tell you something. So my first Rolling Loud I did in 2019 is when I first saw you. And you were actually, Will and I worked together, and you were the only person that I wanted to see the entire festival. And today in 2022, it still rings true. You were the only person I wanted to see.
Britney was even calling Kevin her greatest teacher at one point. That right there had folks speculating, is this just lust or is she catching real feelings? But here's where things took a real turn. In 2024, Britney Renner announced that she had converted to Islam. And while that's a deeply personal decision, people couldn't help but notice the timing and the influence. Kevin Gates has been open about his Islamic faith for years, and suddenly Britney's lifestyle starts aligning with his. She even described the conversion as transformative and said it helped her find peace. Fans immediately clocked that Kevin might have been the inspiration behind this huge shift in her life. She didn't name him directly, but the dots were connected real fast. By late 2024, the engagement rumors were in full swing. Multiple outlets reported that Kevin and Britney were allegedly preparing for a traditional Muslim wedding. Now, this ain't your average Hollywood love story. Britney was supposedly working with an Islamic marriage counselor, and her close circle claimed she was deep in prep mode for her upcoming nikah, which is the Muslim marriage ceremony. And the PDA, they're not even hiding it anymore. They were caught looking booed up during DDG's live stream, holding hands and acting like they don't have a care in the world. Honestly, at this point, they might as well go public with it. But let's not forget, Kevin is still married, and moreover, it seems like his connection with his wife is quite solid. Which brings the next point. Not everyone's convinced about Kevin and Britney. Some fans think this whole thing might be a calculated PR move. Both Kevin and Britney have made headlines for their unpredictable behavior and bold statements. So there's definitely folks wondering if this engagement is just another way to stay relevant and shake the table. But others believe it's the real deal, that this messy situationship might have blossomed into something authentic. Either way, they've got everyone talking. What y'all think? Is this love, lust, or just a whole lot of cap? Tap in below and drop your thoughts. Are Kevin and Britney headed down the aisle or just playing with our emotions again? Let's talk about it.